January 27, 1945. A German commandant has 1,275 American prisoners standing in the freezing cold. He has ordered the Jewish soldiers to step forward. None of them move. Because Roddie Edmonds, a master sergeant from Knoxville, Tennessee, has told every single one of his men to step forward. All of them. The commandant is furious. He presses his pistol directly against Edmonds' forehead. "Identify the Jews, or I will shoot you right now." Edmonds looks him dead in the eye and says 5 words. "We are all Jews here." The Nazi backed down. Approximately 200 Jewish American soldiers went home to their families. And Roddie Edmonds went home and never told a single person what he had done. Not even his own son. This is his story.
Roddie Edmonds was born in 1919 in South Knoxville, Tennessee. His mother died before he was 3. His father was a wallpaper hanger. He grew up in a Methodist church, graduated high school in 1938, and went to work as a stock clerk. He was not a famous man. He was a quiet, hard-working young man from a modest Tennessee family who believed in his faith and in looking after the people around him. He enlisted in March 1941. He was 22 years old. By December 1944, he was a master sergeant with the 106th Infantry Division. They arrived on the Western Front on December 11th. 5 days later, Germany launched the most powerful counteroffensive of the entire war, the Battle of the Bulge. 2 entire regiments were encircled, thousands killed or captured. On December 19th, 1944, Roddie Edmonds was taken prisoner. The Germans packed him into boxcars, the same boxcars used to transport Jewish prisoners to the death camps. They arrived at Stalag 9B near Bad Orb, Germany, where the first thing the Germans did was separate the Jews. Edmonds watched. He did not forget.
Stalag 9B was brutal. 1 loaf of bread shared among 10 men. Barracks overcrowded and unheated. The winter of 1944 was one of the coldest in European memory. Men already weakened, already sick, already dying. And from the moment they arrived, the Germans separated the Jewish soldiers. Worse conditions, starvation rations. Every man in that camp understood what that separation meant. On January 26, 1945, Edmonds and 1,275 American prisoners arrived at a second camp, Stalag 9A, near Ziegenhain. As the highest-ranking NCO, he was put in command. That same evening, the German announcement came. Only Jewish American prisoners were to assemble at tomorrow's roll call. Non-compliance meant execution. The men came to Edmonds. In the Nazi system, once the Jews were separated, they disappeared. Everyone knew. That night, Edmonds did not sleep. He lay in his bunk in the dark and made his decision. We're not doing that. Tomorrow morning, every one of us falls out.
January 27th, 1945. The morning broke bitterly cold, and every single American prisoner walked out of every single barracks and stood in formation. All 1,275 of them, standing together. Major Siegmann, the German commandant, approached and stopped. He had expected a handful of Jewish soldiers standing apart. Instead, he was looking at every American in the camp. They cannot all be Jews. Edmonds stepped forward. "We are all Jews here." What followed lasted only minutes. But those minutes have lasted 80 years. Siegmann was furious. He pressed his pistol directly against Edmonds' forehead, demanded he identify the Jewish soldiers or die. Edmonds did not step back. He told Siegmann, "If you want to shoot the Jews, you will have to shoot every single one of us." And he reminded the commandant that Germany was losing the war, and that executing American prisoners was a war crime. Siegmann's face went red. He lowered the weapon. He walked back to his office without another word. 200 Jewish American soldiers went home to their families.
It did not end there. As Allied forces approached in March 1945, the Germans ordered a forced march.
Edmonds knew it would kill many of his weakened men. He refused. He ordered his men to run back into the barracks. The Germans ordered them out. They ran back in, again and again, for hours, until the guards gave up, abandoned the camp, and left. On March 30th, 1945, the 6th Armored Division rolled through the gates. 100 days after his capture, Roddie Edmonds walked out. He came home to Knoxville. He married, raised a family, worked at the local newspaper, sold mobile homes, worked in cable television. A quiet, ordinary life. He never told anyone what he had done at Stalag 9A. Not his wife, not his son Chris. He kept those 5 words and the 200 lives they saved entirely to himself. Until death. The story might have stayed buried forever. After Edmonds died in 1985, his son Chris found his wartime diaries and tracked down the survivors. Lester Tanner confirmed everything. So did Sonny Fox, a television executive who had been a young Jewish soldier in that formation. In 2015, Israel's Yad Vashem named Roddie Edmonds righteous among the nations, the only American serviceman ever to receive that honor. 71 years to the day after Stalag 9A, President Obama said, "I cannot imagine a greater expression of Christianity than to say, I too am a Jew." On March 2nd, 2026, President Trump awarded Roddie Edmonds the Medal of Honor, 81 years after the fact. He never sought recognition. He believed doing the right thing was not something you announced. You simply did it. A quiet man from Tennessee, a pistol to his head, 5 words. Subscribe to Stealthline. A new story drops every week.